All right, guys. Welcome back to another Shed Talk. I'm here with Ethan.
What's up? What's up?
And we're about to be talking about... What are we talking about? I forgot what we were talking about.
We're going to talk about a lot, right? We're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about just journeys
just how we've gotten here thus far, and our important lives, and like our goals with the label. Tell them about that.
Yeah, so we could talk about that too. So one of the things that I'm personally working on, I don't know if you guys can hear me okay right now.
Oh, they can hear you.
The karaoke next door. But basically, I'm in a position where I know a lot of creatives, and I just want to help them with the business side of things because I come from a business background. So kind of my goal is to bring all of the creatives that I know have that good work ethic together and put them in a structure where they can produce in an efficient manner the art that they deserve to put out. And the reason why I think it's a big deal to do that is because I know that with being in a creative space, you can want to make everything perfect. Like there's always a better version of whatever you're putting out there. And one entrepreneurial philosophy that I follow is that you put it out there and you let the world decide if it needs to be updated. Right. And if the world decides it, then you update it after that.
Yeah.
The first thing is making that first step to, put it out there. And I think I really enjoy music, so I want to do it with that, but it's going to expand past that, not just music. Jaden is going to be a part of this venture, and he's not. Yep. You're in music in a roundabout kind of way, yeah.
Like I do music videos. You guys know this,
but like even with what he does, is something creative, so you can really use that. And add some structure to it.
I understand what you're talking about because I take off of based on even I can go into like the YouTube details and everything about my videos and see how long people watch it and my average view time, all this different types of stuff, which I like to see because you see then you get to see what people like and what they dislike, and then you change it based on that because some people I've noticed certain time videos don't do as well as other durations of videos, and thumbnails, big thing. If you don't use thumbnails and stuff like that, definitely people aren't as interested. I've noticed.
So one interesting thing that you should consider, and this is just with anybody doing anything in this new online space, is that the human attention span has dropped astronomically. Like it's really dropped. So back in the day, if you had an ad or you had something where you wanted to catch their eye, you had and I say back in the day, probably 50 years ago, 100 years ago, whatever. You had a 15 second to 20 second time span before that individual lost attention to whatever that was. Right. Now it's down to a second. I swear to God. With stuff like TikTok and everything's blinking at your face, everything's really high in just being stimulating and all of that. So it's you're getting hit with so much content and you can scroll away from content that you don't want. And that's all you do for hours on end.
Literally, you just scroll until you find something that catches your eye real quick, then you'll stop and look at it.
Exactly.
And then scroll, and then...
And I bring that up.
That is crazy.
I bring that up to just for people in general, with whatever you're doing online. Just keep in mind that you have a very short window to convince somebody to give in to whatever you're about to put out there, to entertain whatever idea you're going to throw out there. And that's something that I try to consider. And I think the best way to do it is to just not BS your way with it. So
be straight up.
Exactly. Just completely come off as authentic and straight to the point.
Yeah, I like that because then if you hype it up or make it something that it's not, you're giving false expectations and people are going to expect what you just told them. Yeah. And then when they see it, they're of course not going to like it, obviously. Yeah. Their opinion of it is going to be different than what they had hoped for.
Yeah, and one thing that you have the creative right to exercise, and anybody does really if you're in a creative space, is that you have the creative license to put out anything you want to, and for it to be a piece of artwork, and that can be completely indifferent and separate from people's opinion of it. So I can make a painting and you can feel good about it or bad about it, right. But the fact that you felt something out of it, just that fact alone makes it art. And, that makes right. it something that I can at least respect.
Yeah, I think there's an art
boiled down level.
I think art is very, very vast. Actually, I don't think it has to be so set in stone of pictures and music and all this type of stuff. Everything's art. Everyone, like, if someone loves their job, that's an art to them at that point, because then they're not that they love that craft, and like they love what they're doing. They put their passion into it, and like they're putting feelings into that piece of whatever work they're doing, whether it being like freaking, I don't even know, anything. It can literally be anything. It's just like art is everywhere, and like everyone is creative. Just like I don't think a lot of people allow themselves to touch into that part of themselves.
Yeah, I would say some people are more creative than others.
No, that's definitely true.
Like, cause it's like an actual, like, you have a temperament for it and whatnot. So like, I'm more so conscientious than I am creative. So my thoughts aren't very free flowing.
Right.
My thoughts are very concise and really laid out in an orderly fashion. So for my mind to just
can you explain that a little bit? Like,
yeah. So like when I work on something. Did you want to rephrase the question? No. Okay. So like when I work on something, everything I do is centered around the fact that I want this to happen in an orderly fashion. Mm-hmm. Everything. So this is how I align everything that I do. When I get up, I roll my sleeves up and I get to work on whatever I'm getting to work on. Let's say I have a series of tasks that I have to do. I try to do it in the most efficient way possible. Mm-hmm. And that's just how I'm naturally wired.
Right.
Now, if I was more on the so that's conscientiousness. Mm-hmm. If I was more on the creative side of it, I won't care so much about order. I'm just caring about, am I being true to myself? Am I putting out something that represents what I want it to represent? Et cetera, et cetera. You keep that in mind when you're doing a project, and you paint a picture of whatever you want that to be. You know what I mean? So, and order may not necessarily be your highest priority, like it would be in my case. Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because like, well, I don't know. I'm kind of a perfectionist with my work as well. So like, but my thoughts are definitely free flowing. I definitely have 1,000 thoughts throughout the day. Like,
yeah.
Completely random, brought on by, don't even know. It's just always thinking.
Yeah, I feel that. Nah, I have I don't know. My thoughts are kind of funny. I don't know. I think in a very interesting way. I don't think, here's a cool thing to think about. Do you think you think in words, or do you think you think in pictures? Does that make sense?
I think in pictures.
You think in pictures?
100%.
I think in words 100%.
I can literally close my eyes and like, if I'm brushing my teeth, I can close my eyes and visualize which part of my mouth I'm brushing.
Yeah,
I'm doing it. Like, I don't know. I feel like I have pretty good control over my mind.
I'm the complete opposite. So I think in words. So like, when I'm thinking, I'm literally talking to myself. Like, I'm just not opening my mouth. That's me thinking. Now, me thinking isn't just me visualizing. Like, I'm actually talking to myself in my head. Like, that's me thinking. And so I think in words. And I think that because of that, I've been able to do okay, just like in the business world, because I'm able to, start from a point of logic and just think a thought through, and I can think of the logical next step to make, and it's just literally like a.
So like when you meditate, meditate, is it with? Do you see words as well?
Ooh. That's a hard one. Probably both. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I meditate, I'm probably like thinking in terms of pictures and words. Cause the way that I meditate is like I go into meditation with some type of goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whether my goal is to be completely present, to completely try to be in the moment, if my goal is to think out a thought, or if there's something that I feel like I'm struggling with and I just want to understand that struggle a little more, I might meditate about it. But usually the way that I go into meditation is like I start with a thought and then I explore that thought. And then that thought branches off into another thought. And then I think about it and I think about it and I think about it. And then I look back and it's like each thought branches off into another thought. And I look back and it's like there's this big tree of thought.
Right.
And then I consider that big tree of thought and I say, all right, how does this whole tree connect to the first thought that I started with? Mm-hmm. And I do that and it's like it helps me have like a well-rounded understanding of certain concepts.
Right.
If that makes sense. So I'll do that.
Because it broadens your what is the word? I don't know actually.
Horizon.
Sure, yeah, but
Horizon. Somebody said it in the background.
Like,
Your understanding,
your perspective,
perception,
like, perception of
any of those
thought,
words.
the idea.
Any of those words really.
I had this. This was when there was a new moon. Actually, the day after. Apparently, they're supposed to be like really good for spiritual things. And
I heard that too.
I was.
New moon was yesterday, right?
Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or 2 days.
2 days ago, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, my dad was driving to my brother's, and I was just laying. I have my crystals I just bought, bro. And one, I have a moon rock one.
You're deep.
I have a rainbow moon rock. I think
a rainbow moon rock.
Or moonstone, rainbow moonstone.
That sounds like
and
some
then
good.
It's good for like creativity and shit. And then another one.
Rainbow moon rock. I'm trying to smoke that. Somebody pull up to it. Hold on, look that. Somebody pull up to a session and say, "Hey, bro, what'd you bring? Some cook? You feel me? Just something bro had." You say, "I got rainbow moon rock." I'm turned. I swear. That's lit. Nah.
But I had both of them. I had the other one was for like anxiety and stuff. My girl had looked up some stuff, and then we went to the rocks or the World of Rocks, I think is what it's called, the Ypsilanti, and picked it out and red jasper, I think, and then the rainbow moonstone. One was good for like anxiety really and stress, and then the other one was good for like creativity and all that type of stuff.
That's good. That's like a little balance thing you got.
Yeah, but I had them both in my hands, and I was like, I had my eyes closed, and I could visualize like literally I could visualize the stone in my left hand, the stone in my right hand, what it looked like, and then I visualized like the energy that like was going through me, and it looked like, and then I could visualize like myself. But it was like, you know how like on posters in gym class they had like the muscles,
like the anatomy guy spread out.
He was that's what it looked like, except it was like energy.
Okay.
And
could you feel it as you were visualizing?
I was looking. I could feel I could feel my hand heat up when I thought of like which rock it was or whatever. Yeah. And then as I was really cool. My eyes were closed and I was just laying there, and then I started thinking about other things. I started thinking about like I thought about my heart, just my heart in general. And then Desiree's face actually started popping up in like a whole bunch of different memories of her, which I thought was crazy. And and then I thought about like my mind and like where I was right now and like.
Who's Desiree? If you don't mind me asking.
Desiree's my girlfriend.
The one who bought you the crystal?
No, I bought it, but
who helped you pick out the crystal? Yeah. That's hard.
Yeah, she's dope. Wow. She's dope as fuck.
Happy for you, bro. Happy for you. Really, genuinely. That's amazing.
But what was I talking about?
You were talking about the crystals. You had them in both hands. You were visualizing different things.
And I started visualizing my mind and started thinking about, like I just started picking through little memories and stuff. I don't know. I was feeling very in tune with myself in that moment in time.
That sounds like a very good practice for trying to be like very present. Mm-hmm. Like just trying to be very present in the moment, and that's something that I think is huge at this time because people don't understand like the weight of what we're going through right now. At least from what I've noticed, like people don't realize like the weight behind the year that we just had and the weight that was on your shoulders that you carried around as you were trying to, you know, keep things normal as you could keep them.
Yeah, that's crazy that you really just brought that up. Yeah, I really did. Like, I know a lot of people went through a lot of struggles through this past year. Mental problems and stuff with all around.
Mental, spiritual, physical.
Physical, yeah, everything. And all of that. I was bad for a while. That's why I started YouTube, and I went like real good for 2 weeks, and then after that 2 weeks, my depression and all that type of shit started kicking in, and I went through like a down bad for like fucking 4 months or 3 months probably.
Really?
And it got to the point. Actually, I'll just jump into it. Fuck it. It got to the point where I was like getting real bad, dark thoughts like suicidal shit and all that, and so there's this one day I had woken up and I ate like a little bit of an edible, and I didn't think I was about to get that high, but I got super fucking high. So I went upstairs.
I hope this story ends how I think it's gonna end. Okay. That's all I was.
No, it's kind of crazy actually. I went upstairs and I went in my room, and I heard this fucking song turn on. Okay, in my head, my fucking head. Okay. It was weird. And but the song I had heard before is in the show Evil. Okay, and in this show, it was used like as an instructional guide from the devil to make little kids kill themselves, bro. I swear. But it was played as a frequency, so if we listened to it, we couldn't hear it.
Okay, like in the show.
Yeah, only people 12 and under could hear it. But that's how it was used in the show.
But you heard that?
Yeah, I heard that in my head.
Edible.
Yeah, and I was like, I was obviously very freaked out, and then like I felt like you know when like you're teaching someone how to play golf or like if you take a girl on a date and you're playing mini golf and you go around her arms around you. Yeah.
You felt somebody hugging you?
Yeah, it felt like someone like had brought my hands together and then like I closed my eyes and like really gave myself I gave myself to God that day.
Jesus.
I was an atheist before that.
That wasn't the happy ending I thought was gonna happen. I thought he was gonna say like he ate the edible and then the edible turned into like you've just been high ever since or something like that. Something stupid. But that ending with the fact that you felt like you felt a spiritual presence over you that led you to like give your life. That's beautiful. I gotta admit. That's something that like and just having the comfort of accepting that whole series of things that happened, because everything you just said was like crazy thing after crazy thing after crazy thing after crazy. Accepting all of that because you know it came to a happy ending. It's kind of beautiful. I don't know.
And then after that, life has been like this past month and a half has been fucking tremendous. Blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings. Like I pray every day and all that type of shit, and like I don't let thoughts manifest anymore.
How does that work for you?
Like
praying every day and stuff.
I think it makes me feel real good actually, like cuz I don't let anything manifest. So if I get any anxiety, I will literally just I'll just pray about it. I'll just be like, I don't know why I'm feeling like this. I don't want to feel like this. Like just help me do the shit, and then that's the end of it. And then I don't feel anxious anymore after that. It's like once I talk about it, like physically talk, put it out, put my words into the world, that I don't want to feel like that I'm conscious that I'm feeling like that. Yeah. Then I don't, and then like I just get past it in general. And so
that's a huge part of it. And for me and my anxiety, a lot of my anxiousness just comes from not taking a step. I have to take a step from my life, and I'll usually be anxious about the risk of doing that. And then I've learned that in those situations, it's just best to just take the step. And then, you know, if I'm going to be anxious about it, let me be anxious about it later. But right now isn't the time to fold up. You know what I mean? Because I only get anxious during pivotal moments of my life.
Right.
I've noticed that for me. Like, I don't get anxious, and I wouldn't even say I have a problem with anxiety, but I am a human, and I do feel different emotions.
Right.
So, and sometimes it's anxiety. But I would say, like, anytime I had to make a really, really big decision for my life, and I knew I had to do something, like, the anxiety that you feel in that moment. And then it's just like, the biggest thing is just accepting it in that moment and just taking that step, at least for me.
Yeah, I think like all the like people are like be fearless and stuff. I don't think you should be fearless.
No, you gotta accept that feeling.
You gotta accept the feeling, let it come in, realize because it's a warning. Like you need to be cautious in this.
It's in your human nature. You're supposed to be.
Like, you don't have to be scared. Feeling fear does not mean you're like scared.
Exactly.
You just have to be conscious of it and let it flow out. It's there to help you, like and show you that you have a potential of danger or something like that.
Yeah, I would say that's true. I don't know, like even for me, I do a lot of public speaking now, but I used to be very scared of it, and I learned the trick is because all of those anxiety based feelings, they have a spiraling effect to them. So you're nervous, and then you get nervous about the fact that you're nervous, and then you're nervous about the fact that people see you nervous about the fact that you're nervous.
Right.
And then you're nervous because people see you and they're probably nervous about the fact that you're nervous about the fact that you're nervous. So it's like a huge spiraling effect. And then once you're all the way thinking about, you know, the grand scheme of things behind your nervousness, it's almost impossible to get out of that. So like the big thing is just, all right, I'm nervous. I'll accept it. I'll take that and I'll use it as fuel.
Right.
So like when I start off any like time that I have to like record something or do a public speech or something like that, or you know I gotta make a presentation or something like that, I'll like I just amp myself up and then I just you know it's just like going in and doing it. You know, it's like taking like if you ever took like a cold shower or an ice bath. I'm nervous the whole time. You just gotta do it because it's never gonna be better. Right. You can't outweigh it. You can't. It's always gonna be that bad.
I would like. I like to say like, be used to or enjoy being uncomfortable. Enjoy being uncomfortable. Like just go do shit that makes you uncomfortable because it really does. It makes you better in the long run.
It's your itch. That's a big thing.
Because if you can force yourself to do something that you don't like, then you can really do anything. Then you can damn well force yourself to do something that you do like.
Yeah. That's the big part about it. I think like that it's called your itch. And like you just have to get used to being in uncomfortable positions because it's like a muscle and you train it up. Mm-hmm. So then when you're in an uncomfortable position, it's like muscle memory.
Right.
So like people do things like, and you'll be surprised the kind of things that people do just so that they're used to being uncomfortable. But people will do stuff like take a ice cold shower every day. They'll do something like they'll drink black coffee every day because it's uncomfortable. They'll do something like have a super strict diet that's, you know, terrible, or you know, they'll run a crazy cardio circuit or something like that, and they do all of it because it really translates. It literally becomes, because you gotta remember your brain is a muscle. You know what I mean? You gotta remember that your brain is a muscle. I didn't pass any of my science classes, but I did, and I'm dead ass right now. I'm so serious. I didn't pass any of my science classes, but I think, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, your brain is a muscle. So doing that and getting your brain used to just doing things that are uncomfortable, it becomes muscle memory, and you just get up and you do it. So now I'm in a position where I'll get nervous, I'll get anxiety, I might even feel a little bit of a depressive state coming on. But at the end of the day, when I have to do something, I know that it would be careless of me not to do it. Right. So I just do it. And that's gotten me through a lot of tough times. I will say that. I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely like, as a person who's normally anxious, it definitely is like it's like a good feeling. Once you just start something, it's good. It's easy to do. You just be getting anxieties and thinking about it like, oh, I need to start this shit, or like, and then you're trying to make like the perfect scenario to start it or something in your mind. But like really, you just gotta jump into that shit and start it. Like any time spent on it is better than like hours of you fucking thinking about it.
I'm knowing. Yeah.
Like 5 minutes doing the work is better than.
Oh yeah, no. There's been some BS in my life where I've spent more time thinking about it than it actually took me to do it. Right. Like a lot, and it's usually like something like I'm not even gonna bring up chores right now, but like it'll be something like responding to an email. Mm-hmm. Like I'll think about it the rest of the night. The fact that I should have responded to that email, or I should have hit up somebody, or I should have made that call. And then, like, the call would have only taken, like, 5 minutes. Right. But I take all day thinking about it. I don't know. It's one of those counterproductive things that we naturally do. It's like a habit that everybody has that needs to be counteracted. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that we just naturally do that we shouldn't naturally do. Right. But it's just a byproduct of everything that we're consuming. Mm-hmm. So like social media, we talked about it earlier, the attention span has dropped like that. Right. Now there are benefits to that. People are more straightforward with you. People are more authentic. Mm-hmm. And people are just telling you straight up what it is. The drawback is people only have a small window of time before you group them. Right. People only have a small amount of time to convince you of something that could be good for you. But if it's out of that window, like if it's out of that time frame, window. Yeah, if it's out of that window, it's like no matter what, I'm just shut off to it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you could create a YouTube video, and it'll be like, do these 3 things, and your life will be changed. Mm-hmm. And it might get 10,000 views, and then you say. I did this challenge, I did this prank, I did this blah, blah, blah. And then you have a super enticing thumbnail picture. Mm-hmm. And then you edit it in a way so that the eye is being directed to a particular thing. And those things that your eyes are being directed to usually are like your unhealthy habits. This is a whole thing that YouTubers do. And I see it like a mile away. Like there will be like this girl with this really nice body, and then everything in the thumbnail is directing your eye directly to that girl, and that's supposed to be your incentive to click. Mm-hmm. I bring all that up to say, like, you could say something like 3 things, do this right now, and it'll change your life. And then you have this really deep thumbnail about it's symbolism in it, whatnot. Right. And that won't grab somebody's attention as opposed to like something that's
an eye-catching thing.
Exactly. And that's the problem, because everything that glitters isn't gold. Everything that's glitter isn't gold. So everybody's focused on going for that shiny thing, mm-hmm. instead of going to the thing with obvious substance to it. And I think that's going to be like the hugest challenge, just being like in this digital space, if that makes sense. Like, it's like you gotta work so hard to grab somebody's attention right now. Mm-hmm. You really do. Like, it's really a task. Like, it's a full-time career that you can make for yourself. You can feed your family off of grabbing people's attention. If you are good at that, like, and that's a real skill that people pay top dollar for. And it's sad because it's like, it shouldn't be that hard. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I would
it is what it is.
Jump into the label, actually. Let you talk about that a little bit.
Label. So
what your goals are and like what your idea for it is.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about my idea for it. And I think I pretty much covered that, just as far as where I wanted to go and all of that. Mm-hmm. But my goal isn't really to like make money or anything like that. Like, right. My goal isn't to try to build up this empire that's with all these great artists and we have all these viral. That's not really my goal. My goal is for all of my peers and everybody who signs on to have a better understanding of the business side of the industry that they're in. Mm-hmm. So if, for example, and we're calling it a label, but it's really just a consultation and management firm. But there will be a DBA, a doing business as, and that'll be the label. And really the idea is that you come to me, and then for a period of time, I break down the behind the scenes of the world that you're trying to break into. And then after that period of time, you can either, stick with me, and then we keep, you feel me, thugging it out and growing and expanding and doing what we have to do. Or, you take what you've just learned and you just do it on your own, which is perfectly fine. Because my goal with the label, like I said, is not to make money. I'm just really trying to, I feel like I was put on this earth to teach, right, and to share my insight. That's one of the skills that I have. One of the skills that I have is that I have a very unique perspective on life. Wow, that dude almost got hit by a car. I'm not gonna lie to you. This dude was backing up, and then his friend was like walking by, and he did not see him, and it got like that. It really threw me off. But touching on the point that I was making before I just witnessed the homicide. Jesus, that was crazy. I almost witnessed the murder. But I say all that to say, I was put on this earth to teach, and I really think that people enjoy me breaking down the insight that I can give them. Right. Because I definitely see everything in a different lens. And I've accepted that. And because of that, just being more accepting of who I am, things have been better for myself and everyone around me. And my goal right now is to share my insight on the behind the scenes of the industry that you're trying to break into. Right. For example, for you, that's videography / editing / digital media. For an artist, it might be, us just talking about the art industry, the history of the art industry, and me showing you what that would look like. If you're like a painter or something, let's say you're a singer, we talk about the idea of having an agent, having a manager, what streaming looks like, what kind of marketing needs to be done for something that's a project that's based around streaming as opposed to a project that's just strictly based towards creativity. Right. That kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I can go into detail, and this is where me saying I was conscientious comes in, how everything has to be centered around order. I can take your all your dreams and aspirations, and I do this for myself. That's how I know how to do it for others. I can take all those aspirations and all those dreams, and I can say, all right, let's add some order to it. And then I can come up with a step-by-step plan of at least heading in that direction. Right. Let's at least get you on a trajectory to wherever you're trying to go. That's my thing.
Honestly, that's really the issue with some people is just a start. Yeah. The beginning.
A good start, and I've never had a good start. All my starts are always sloppy, but I started. You know what I mean? That's all that matters. The important part. And that's the big thing I'm trying to sell. Like, I'll run into somebody who's like, oh, I haven't dropped a song yet because I'm trying to. Boys heading out. You're good, bro.
I was just grabbing my brush, buddy.
He was like tiptoeing around the place. I appreciate it. It's all good. But nah, so you'll meet somebody and I'll be like, so why haven't you dropped a song yet? Because you hear the talent. Or I'll be like, why don't you want to sell that painting? Mm-hmm. Why haven't you at least shown the world that you know how to paint? Right. And then they'll just say something like, I just want to get better at this. I want to get better at that. I want to get better at that.
It's because everybody's always searching for perfection.
It is, and people.
You can't.
That's not the selling point.
Yeah, exactly.
People don't like perfection. Perfection is boring. That's boring. Right. When I meet somebody who's perfect at something, it's boring. I don't want to highlight it anymore. It's not gonna get any better than this. Right. It's not gonna get any better than this. That's boring. People don't like that. People like progression more than they like perfection, and that's what people have to remember. Mm-hmm. I watch your YouTube videos because I'm curious. If it's this good now, I'm curious of how good it'll be a year from now. I'm curious of what it'll look like when you got 1 million followers backing you. I'm curious. I want to see that, and I want to do everything that I can to help you get there. But it's like people care about progression more. You feel me? Like when you tell me, oh, I'm investing in a new camera, or I'm investing in some new equipment, some more mics, it goes a farther distance. Whoop whoop whoop. That really excites me because I know your progression is just gonna jump that much. So like my thing right now is, if I can help it, let me do something to help everybody on their path to progression. Like that's my big thing right now. And like if I can influence you to progress in life, I'm gonna do that if you're willing. And that's been my big thing. Like
I really like that.
all year for real. And you know, I everybody's lives around you will only be better because of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm really just trying to. Lately, I've been really focusing on enjoying like being present in life, and being in the moment, and just enjoying the people around me, and like trying to actually like try and spread a lot more happiness, and like just like words of affirmation to people that like people don't usually do, and like such a small thing that you could tell somebody could really make their whole day. They could be having such a terrible day, and you just give them one compliment.
Is that your love language?
Words of affirmation. That and
probably quality time.
Quality time.
Probably. Yeah, physical time. You a little freak man. Freak man. Nah, that's cool, bro. I'm happy for you, bro. It's like I think quality time. I'm boring, so I'm like quality time off the chart. Like I'm lazy, so it's like we're gonna sit around and do nothing. And that might just be the perfect day.
That might be.
You feel me? Like we're not gonna sit
nowhere.
around and do nothing but watch something, cook something, eat something. And
shit, that's a
you
whole
feel
last
me?
date, bro.
That's a whole little joint. That I'm living life if I'm getting some quality time in. Words of affirmation, not so much on my end. Like I like to hear it. I don't like to dish it out though. And that's the thing with love languages. It's like the love languages that you like to receive are known as the love languages that you like to give.
I think it's important for us, like try and spread love, bro. Like love is an important thing to spread for like to everyone around you though. Like you don't gotta be in love with some people, or you don't gotta love like that. It can just be something as simple as you love someone's smile or something.
I might need some convincing on spreading love. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I'm not the best at that. I'm not the Grinch with it though. I'm not like a pessimist or like a bitter person. I'm not bitter at all. Like I'm genuinely happy.
Right.
But it's like I don't always. I don't know. If I'm being honest with you, I just try to be authentic in every situation. If something pisses me off, or something make me sad, or something throw me off my pivot, I'ma just be off my pivot. And then like in those kind of moments, I'm probably not spreading love as much as I should. So like, that's something I need to work on.
I think about I really go. This is where I get fucked up sometimes. Is where I try and I think about my perspective, and then I think about their perspective, and I play it in my mind. From both why they could be thinking the way they're thinking.
That's how you're supposed to do it though.
And like, but yeah, shit. But that can be like, what is the word?
Hard.
False, like not correct, like not the right thing to be doing, because like then I'm getting like a false expectation of what they might be thinking or something like that.
And this is the cool thing about what you just said. So the way that you fix that is like, because that is the right thing to do. You should consider somebody else's point of view anytime you interact with a person. That's 100% the right thing. This is where people mess up. People don't confirm if that's their perspective. That's all you gotta do. So like if you're in an argument with somebody, before I state my opinion, I state their opinion first. And then I say, is that correct? And if they're like, yeah, then we move on and I state my point. But if you say no, all right, we're not even gonna consider my point of view. until we hammer down what your point of view actually is.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even just like being like, is this your point of view? Like something as simple as that can go a long way with people. Cause I hate guessing. I'm a terrible guesser. Whenever I guess on a test, I fail the test. Whenever I guess on a test, I fail the test. If somebody asks me a question and I guess the answer, I'm almost always wrong. I hate guessing. So I really don't like guessing people's emotions. I would just straight up ask you, like, are you good right now? You know what I mean? Like, are we good right now? You know, is something going on? You know what I mean? Like that kind of
when
stuff.
when you just can't read the energy in the room, like.
Yeah, because I'm not always the best at that,
Right.
especially not reading energies and stuff like that. Nah, sometimes I take stuff at face value. You know, everything isn't always deep though, because I'm an overthinker too.
Yeah.
So like, I'll think there's a whole situation,
Right.
when there wasn't even a situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'll play some crazy shit out in my head as to why this person is like, I don't know, taking forever to respond.
Yeah,
Something as simple as that.
I'm like, oh, they hate me.
Damn.
Whole time they fell asleep or something. You know, like,
Right.
you never
It
know.
just be something so simple that you just play out so big in your head, and you just go on that fantasy, and that's what you got to get out of get out of doing.
That's huge, man. That's huge. I don't know, man. I just try to really I say this a lot, but I just be chilling, bro. I promise you, like 9 times out of 10, I'm chilling. Nah, really 10 times out of 10, I'm lying. I'm always chilling. So like anytime like I start overthinking something, I don't know, it just really throws me off because I'm like naturally, like even mentally, I'm usually in a relaxed state. But like whenever something happens where like my thoughts start to pick up and they, you know, I'm weighing decisions and things like that. And, you know, when you're doing that, you're not chilling. And then sometimes it can, like, really have an effect. Not in a bad way, but just in a way that, like, I'm normally super relaxed.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I'm so used to having so many thoughts going in my head that it's almost relaxing having thoughts always coming in through my head, so I don't dwell on one thought. Because usually when I'm only thinking about one thing, it's like affecting me in a certain way, and so I'd rather not think about only one thing unless it's important, like unless it's like a person, or if it's like work I'm doing, or if I'm trying to think about how I can progress within myself or like something, then I'll think about certain aspects. But most of the time I'm free flowing because I'm always trying to be I don't know, like I like my thought, because it is, if I keep my brain free thought, well, my brain just is free flowing, but that's where I get my thoughts throughout the day of like different things to do with videos and stuff like that.
It should stay that way. It should stay that way. I don't think you should like change that in any way, because the way that you think is the way that you think. You know what I mean? You can train yourself to think differently, but you know, it is what it is.
Can I answer this real quick?
Yeah, man, do your thing. Do your busy thing.
Hey, I'm doing my shed talk right now.
Okay, mister. Okay, well, I have a quick question. Just a quick question.
What's up?
You can cut this out the video. Don't act like editing doesn't exist. You do that for a living. Anyway.
Bro, I've been trying to signal you for like 10 minutes to pass me that water. I swear to God. I've been looking at this nigga for like 18 minutes like, water. Bro, it's in like a little styrofoam cup, bro.
I haven't been on my phone.
You literally said you
I got some water somewhere on that counter, bro. Dang, bro. I was thirsty.
Is tomorrow Monday? No, tomorrow Sunday. Yes. We'll go
Hey, shorty, you dropping stuff?
Okay.
Shorty, nice kid.
I can do anytime Monday.
I need your number, and that's that. I need your number, and that's that.
Okay.
What's your name again, bro? Who?
Okay.
You. Light skin. Daddy.
Alright.
I need your number, and that's that.
Okay. Ethan. Alright, bye.
You're on the phone, my bad, bro. I'm sorry.
Shit.
Okay. Back to the shed talk. What the fuck are we talking about?
I have no
Don't even
idea.
matter.
Let's just ask me a question or something, and then we can
Ask
just
you a
pick up
question.
that way. Or I could ask you a question.
No, I want to know. I want to know
I got a
how Ethan, who can I talk about your past?
Yeah, ask me
Openly?
anything. bro.
Okay. How Ethan went from sell me.
I didn't know how honest you were gonna get. Please
this
filter.
is my shed talk, bro.
Please,
Okay.
just for me, professionally.
It's fuck.
I swear, because I didn't know he was gonna go all the way there. Bro, he went left field. I thought we were in the right. I thought we were in the foul ball zone. He was trying to swing for
Say
it.
something like,
Bro, but like it's a part of your
high school.
it's a part of where you came from.
It's just-
it's where you are now. You're a completely different person.
Absolutely. So
That
you can
are
ask me
100% different
Yeah.
than what you used to be.
100%. So
100%.
I say like,
I
just
think you've done like a whole
180.
180, yeah, in your life.
So
I agree. I noticed it too. I would say
And besides, like
I can't go into detail, but I can say I say like just ask it in a way like so that it doesn't sound illegal. Let's say, and if you could edit that,
Okay,
where I just
yeah,
say
yeah,
illegal out.
So I don't know. You've always okay.
Just say. I mean, you know the type of person I was. Type of like I can tell you about that because it all translated from the type of person I was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right, like you. Let's see. Bit more condescending. Is that the
You want
word?
to go talk to them? I was condescending.
Is that the word?
Condescending is like you're trying to pull somebody down, like crabs in a barrel.
Oh no, not that one. Then.
Yeah.
You were more. I don't know. I
Like
just
you're
don't
trying
think,
to shoot somebody down, like.
Yeah, you weren't like that. You were more.
like, you say I'm like Michael Jordan.
were
and I'll
super
be like,
easy.
You're really,
you were
really
super
like
easygoing, but too
Kendrick
easygoing.
Perkins. Easygoing.
Too easygoing. You didn't like acknowledge your intelligence. I think I always knew that from you from the beginning. You seemed like more smarter than you acted. Like in front of like a lot of people, you would
yeah.
act stupid as fuck for no reason.
I would.
Like
That's true. That's very true. So what was the question though? I'm sorry.
shit. Well, I was just explain like your how you've done like what made your switch of like Ethan then to professional ass like about your shit. Damn.
What's happened
Has
there?
a limit for
What's the
how long it
limit?
records. I don't know, 30 minutes, something,
We did 2 30-minute sessions.
somewhere around there.
Yeah, I ain't lie, it's been almost an hour.
I'm a talker. So what's your question?
Too fucking.
How
I talk way too much, bro.
where you're
Like I get cozy when I talk. Like I want to put a blanket.
what
on
made
a little
you?
bit.
What was your switch? What was the start of your switch, and how have you came to the point where you are now? What is your how you progressed so much already?
Yeah.
I'd say, in my opinion.
I appreciate that because, like, in my eyes, it doesn't really look like that much of a progression. Just from my point of view, it just feels like a step. Like I've just took another step. I would say, like, the way that I made such a 180 turn in my attitude, the way I acted, the way I treated others, is because, excuse me, that's a dry cough. We talked about it a little earlier, like understanding the weight of things. Like at a younger age than most people, I understood the weight of things like rights, responsibility, having an objective with your life. Like that hit me at a younger age than I think it did for most people. Like I had a reality check. I say like with most people, their reality check happens at some point in their 20s. Mm-hmm. My reality check hit me like when I was like 15, bro. I'm like for real. And I think it partially had to do with the fact how I was raised. Partially had to do with the fact that I always hung out with people that were older. Like when I was in middle school, I was hanging out with the high schoolers. I was trying to be with them, you feel me?
Yeah, I feel like I can relate a lot like that. I hung out
Yeah.
like with my older brother's friends a lot.
Yeah,
at a younger
yeah.
age.
Same here.
And we're 5-year difference, and so
Dang,
4 or 5 year difference.
you were a
yeah.
baby.
And so I'm still cool with a lot of his friends actually.
That's good.
But even like doing the work I do with music videography, I'm working with older, like grown people most of the time, like that know what they're doing and are professional and stuff like that. And where was I going with this? I don't know.
You were touching on my point. I brought all that up to say like that has all played a role in how things ended up for me. But I would say like the reason why I was able to have such a focus is because like, and I can remember the night. There was just one night I was up late and I was just thinking of like why. Like I was thinking of life, and then I just kept asking why. Like I would think of some quality of life, some aspect of life, just anything, and I just kept saying why in my head, and then I kept doing that over and over and over and over and over again, and it caused me that's where the reality check really hit me, because I started looking at the way that I was acting, and this was all in one night. I just started looking at the way that I was acting, the way I was treating others, the way I was thinking, my consumption, what I was putting into my body, my spirit, my soul, my mental, all that. I started thinking about all that, and I didn't like what I saw.
Right.
Because I finally, and I guess you could say it was like the day where it was like I was woken up, whatever. But like I saw the trajectory. That was the first time I would say that like I could see a life in the trajectory that it was going. Because that was the first time I just considered everything.
Right.
So like I looked at my own life, because remember I started by saying all this started with me doing this to myself. When I examined myself.
Right.
I looked at the trajectory of my life. I looked at all my daily habits, my mentality, the philosophy I live my life by, everything, my spiritual state, my mental state, my physical state, everything, all of that. And I looked where my life was headed, and I didn't like where it was going. And then I said, all right, what can I do to make it a little better?
Right.
Let's say my life was headed here. What can I do to get it here? What can I do to get it here? What can I do? And I did that every single day. And the difference was because I'm very detail oriented. So I paid attention to the little details. So it was a literal day when I just switched up everything. I don't even know if
I think it was like that. It really was like.
Because I looked completely different the next day.
You came in one day and you were just like.
I was just a different man.
I'm just wearing a suit. I got my suit on every day.
Yeah, because like the way I'm dressing now, and I'm dressing like I'm on my couch because I am on my couch.
Yeah.
The way I'm dressing now is how I would go to school every day. I would go to church. It didn't matter where I was going. I was going. You feel me?
Right.
Nike suit or Nike Tech, whatever. Air Forces, Timbs, Uggs, whatever I got on, J's, whatever. And then one day I was like, you know what? If I wanna, I'm gonna dress like the job that I want, not the job that I have. I'm gonna dress like the life I want, not the life that I have. And I started doing that. And then I said, all right, I'm gonna start thinking like I live the life I want. I'm not gonna think like the life I have. I did that. I said, okay, I'm gonna work like I got the life I want, not the life I have. All right, bet. All right, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk and talk like I got the life I want, not the life I have.
If you start believing that you already are doing, that's the biggest difference I've already noticed with myself. I believe like that I'm gonna be doing YouTube. I believe that I'm gonna be doing music videography for the rest of my life. I believe that I will be connected with music and connected in this art field. Like I believe this is my life now. Like I'm not worried about it anymore.
That's
like,
the big part.
That was the big, and like it makes you that once you realize, like once you believe in yourself, like then you just really are gonna be so happy. And like that's
like, a part of it. Yeah, and the big thing is like with everything you described, and what I was getting to is that like that's literally manifestation in the works. So that's literally manifestation. You see what you aim at. I have no idea what's going on over here
Right.
because I'm looking over here. I have no idea what's going over here because I'm still looking over here. This could all be some jacked up stuff, but it doesn't matter because my eye is on the prize right now.
Right.
You see what you aim at, and you
got tunnel vision.
you bring that out in your life because that's what you're aiming for.
Right.
So because I was doing all of these different things to get the life I wanted, honestly, with a little bit of luck, with a little bit of wit, with a little bit of, I don't know, using my blessings, using my brain, all that stuff. You know, I looked up and very shortly things were back on track because I think the way you were just trying to describe it was that my life was not on track. To sum it up, my life
Yeah, I
was
think
not
that
on
was
track.
yeah.
It's just, it was a train wreck.
I was the same way. Like I was, putting things in my body I should not be putting in, and like, just had a really terrible year for my health, like mentally,
Like
physically.
McDonald's? Or like-
No, like with just like doing, I don't know, like allowing myself to dwell on everything, overthinking
I got
every
you.
little thing.
Yeah.
Smoking way too much weed, like fucking doing, experimenting with shit that I should not be doing, like that I would never have thought in my entire life that I would do, and then I did it, and then like I was like, it's just stupid.
It is what it is. It didn't kill you.
It didn't
break
it made
you.
me the person
You're here right
I
now.
have my understanding now because I don't regret
you're
it.
here right now.
Yeah, you can't regret something that you thought was gonna make you
Yeah.
happy at that time. Like, that's
Downtown
stupid.
Detroit, thugging it out. You still here. You made it through it. So it is what it is. You know, whatever happens, happens.
Right.
All you gotta know is like, all right, it happened. Am I gonna let it break me, or am I gonna push forward and thug it out and be the best version of myself that I can be in this very moment?
Mm-hmm. And
As
that's
long
when
as you keep doing that, you're green.
after that, like I was going downhill, but like I was realizing in my head, like I've always felt like a genuine good person. Like
Yeah.
I've always wanted to make an impact on the world and stuff like that.
Nah, you're
And,
one
like,
of the nicest people I know. I can say that for
and
sure.
I was just like, fuck that. Like I really want. I'm a fucking light. I need to shine. Like I need to do my shit. Like I need to work for it. I need to like I gotta. I don't know. I just had to. I don't know what the words I'm searching for right now. Brain's kind of getting tired out. This is the longest.
Yeah,
I think this is the longest TED talk I've done, sir.
Whenever that happens, I feel honored. Whenever that happens where I don't know what to say, you know, Lou, what is my saying? I want you to say it. I'm not even gonna say it. I want you to say it. When you don't have nothing to say, I live by this. I swear to God.
If you don't got nothing to say, don't say nothing at all.
When in doubt, say nothing. I swear. When in doubt, I have gotten out of some sticky situations from doing this. I promise you. I thought something was going to go one way and I couldn't find the words. I just sat there in silence. Like, you will be surprised how quick you will find the word. If you just sit like, just... So, like, I promise you, I'll be here talking and then I'll stop for like a millisecond. And that's because I don't know what else to say. It might sound like something different. It might sound like a dramatic pause, whatever. No, I'm shuffling in my brain right now,
'cause I
looking
was
for the word.
literally like, I hate when I'm doing that. I'm searching all around. I can't find it.
It is what it is, bro. I lose words all the time, but I bet you what, I'm gonna find something up here. It may not be a word. It may be a sound. I might do something stupid and embarrassing. But it is what it is, you know. But you know, we touched on a lot of cool stuff. I just say like the biggest part of all of it is like,
We really did. We jumped
did.
into a lot, dude.
we did.
You got
I say the biggest thing is just like with wherever you are, just like know like it's okay to be where you are, but it's also okay to want to be better, and it's also okay to want the best.
Right.
But it's okay to be where you are, and I think that's the best part of like
Being happy where you
being
where you
happy
are,
with
like,
you. Yeah, because there's a certain sense of being content, but then there's a certain hunger that I think everybody should have
Right.
for better.
Yeah.
But not just for you, for those around you. And like, if we all have like a certain hunger for things around us to be better, then you know, I just said, you see what you aim at. You manifest where you're aiming at. If you're aiming at everything around you to be better, you'll be surprised at the kind of good things that can happen around you.
Right.
And like I feel like with everything that I'm doing, I'm trying to keep that in mind. And just like even in my daily habits when I'm dealing with friends and family, like things can be bad, but I can always do something to make it a lot worse.
Right.
So let me just do what I can to just, you feel me, like make things better in whatever way I can do that. Because it's different for everybody. You know, with me, I have a lot of business experience and insight. That's one thing. You know what I mean? I do other things too. I'm good with my words. I'm a very analytical thinker. If you need help with like some analytical thought, I can help with that. You know, I'm really into design and stuff. So like weird stuff like interior design and like I don't know, like graphic design. I do all that stuff. So it's like, you know, you have all these different things that you can do.
You definitely have a genuinely good personality though.
I
Like
appreciate that.
I'll come over and just the way you offer things and stuff, and like how you are always wanting to have like good energy, or just have everyone be happy around you. Like you make that extra effort for it.
Really?
Yeah, I've noticed it. I've
Words of
noticed, like,
affirmation. This guy over here, I feel great. Yeah.
noticed a few different things.
Thank
Like,
you.
Just even with the fucking water and shit, like just something that's light, but like
You gotta show them the lemon water.
I've been drinking.
Exquisite.
You see the reviews, man. I do what I can to make people feel good. Nah, I mean, it's just something that I naturally want to do. Like, it's just I try to, with everything I do, I try to have thoughtfulness in it. So like, I might do that, but also like, I'm trying to be mindful of everybody else. Like, we got my man's Lou and his bro here. They can't touch dogs. I have a very, very energetic blue nose pit bull. Before they got here, we put them up. You feel me? Like, if somebody has an allergy to something, if I remember them saying it, I'm not gonna get that food with the allergy in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If somebody says, I don't have a ride home, I may not offer them a ride home because I'm lazy, but I might like be like, if you gotta crash it on my couch, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Or I might be like, if you need help getting the Uber, I can do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever the case may be, and it's just, it's not even like me trying to make people feel good and make people happy.
it's just
me trying to be respectful and trying to be mindful of your point of view. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll ask, do you want a water with lemon in it? Because I don't just want to assume that you want a water with lemon in it.
Right.
But it's like, he might want one. So, you want one? And he did. So,
yeah.
you know, mindfulness is big with me. Consideration, I guess. Like, even like if my TV's too loud, I'll turn it down because I'll be thinking like, oh, I could imagine being the next door neighbor and I got to work at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Shit, yeah.
Like, I think like that. Like,
Right.
I'll be like if I'm playing music too loud, I'm like, man, my next door neighbor could be in a Zoom meeting right now with their boss, and all they hear is Tupac. So I'll like turn my music down. But like, those thoughts aren't always good because that's just that's a false reality that I just created to justify my action. So I just made up a whole scenario. That was like a fantasy I just created. Somebody's boss is next door. Like, that's not always a healthy thing to do.
Right.
Sometimes it's good to just be in that moment, do your thing, thug it out. You can't please everybody.
Right.
And that's been my thing this year. Like, I can't make everybody happy. Like, I try to make my bros around me happy, you feel me? I want y'all to be happy. But you feel me? Like, I can't please everybody. So right now, it's just about me doing my thing.
Yeah, I've been working on like
Because people
my
will
girl tell
naturally
me
hate on you.
my
man.
girl's been trying to get me to work on saying no. I got a big issue with saying no to people. Like, I don't know why. Like, I just always want to be able to.
Your girl sound like a real one. She got you on the crystal sheet.
No, bro, she dope as fuck. For real.
That's so good, bro. That's good.
Like, if I could picture a person that would be perfect for me, it would be her in my mindset.
That's hard.
As now, as of
That's
right now
hard.
where I'm at.
Hey,
Like she matches my vibration for sure. Definitely a twin flame.
whoa, that's deep. See, like,
But we're 2 days apart in birthdays, bro. We got like this, we got the same signs. We got like if I look at my like all types of same shit, bro. It's kinda
Okay.
crazy.
no, that's cool because it's like, wow. So I'm the type of person I can't date anybody that's anything like me. Like,
But she's not. She's introverted as fuck.
okay.
So
Okay.
and like has other like that's different from me.
Mm-hmm.
So like we in hindsight,
But you gotta be
in
somewhat
hindsight,
similar.
yeah,
It
very
sound like-
similar, very similar. But in
That sound very
hindsight,
similar.
we're opposites.
Okay.
But when in all things that matter, we're quite the same.
Yeah, I don't know. You know me. I'll just be chilling. But when I have a little situationship, I don't like people that are like me. I don't know why, and it's not because I dislike myself or something. It's just like we're gonna butt heads too much, and it always happens. It always happens. And then I'm the type of person like I do little petty stuff like if you're mad, I might crack a joke or something like that. If we're both doing that back and forth, like it's not gonna end well. So I don't know. I'll be that's why I just be chilling, bro. I'm telling you, man. I just be chilling. I don't even know what made us bring that up.
Don't even know either, but this is. I think about that and this shit. I think we
feel
brushed
like
on
you
a
wanna-
bunch of great things.
Yeah, we're probably gonna watch some TV or something.
Yeah, I might have to head back. Actually,
Oh, dang. Bro, he just curved me on camera.
I didn't curve you.
I said, you wanna
but,
watch
like,
TV? He said, I might have to head out. Dang, at least look for the people. Just for the people, be like, all right, bro, what you wanna watch? Rick and Morty? Shoot, I can get a pizza. At least for the camera. He was like, I don't know, bro. That's how I know the interview didn't go good.
No,
He was like, I don't know, bro. I might have to go somewhere.
I got my
editing on this bitch.
I got my grandpa's.
I got editing to do.
I got my grandpa's wedding in the morning.
Bro, you're so capped out, bro. He just made up a.
I did not.
My granddad's getting
I swear on everything he's getting married tomorrow.
Your granddad?
Your granddad's getting
Yeah.
married.
How old is your granddad?
I don't know, like 60 something.
Oh, man, chill.
But like my grandma passed away, so he's got a new boo type thing. So he getting married.
Oh, he active. He better than me.
Oh,
He
God.
need to give me some.
I'm about to do my
pointers.
first wedding video. Actually, I'm pretty excited.
Oh, you go to bed, bro.
You need to go to bed because you're gonna have a long day with your girl tomorrow. So
I'm not gonna be with my girl until like the end of the day.
That's what I'm saying.
Cat.
You go to the wedding, you don't have to. You need to go to bed. You know.
what time is the wedding from?
You got money.
The wedding's from. I gotta be there at like 12.
12 a.m.
Yeah.
You
And
gotta
then
set
I
up.
gotta-
Wait, midnight?
Dumbass.
No.
12 p.m.
I said a.m. and he said yes.
But like,
I was like, you gotta go now. It's 12:01.
oh my
You gotta go. I'm like, well, you late to the wedding.
No, PM. Yes.
Y'all are funny, bro. Nah. I feel it, man. That's exciting, but you definitely got to do something crazy for your girl, bro. I'm not gonna lie
Yeah,
to
I
you.
know.
She sounds very special, just from what I've seen and heard from her. Like,
Yeah,
she
she's
really
something.
likes you. So I'm just gonna suggest you do something like corny that's between y'all two, and she's gonna eat that up. I guarantee. I could just tell she's that type of girl.
Everything to say.
All right.
They eat that up. They eat that shit up.
Man, you make me sound like a dickhead, bro. I be saying that shit though. He not lying. I'm
Well,
about
guys,
You buzz.
thanks for viewing. If you viewed for this long, you're fucking awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
For sure.
Ethan,
It was a
I'm not
pleasure.
gonna say your last
Boy.
name, but what is the label name?
Big Bag Management LLC. You can
Big
catch
Bag
us-
Management.
You can catch us.
We're gonna be
anywhere.
having updates on this shit on my YouTube channel. It's gonna be a little side thing. It's gonna be happening in the future.
You know what I'm saying?
Stay tuned.
Tap in with the boys.
Shed talks are obviously gonna
Drink your
continue
water.
coming. But yeah, thanks for viewing. Have a lovely day. Y'all smile or stay smiling, be happy, all that shit. Spread some positivity.
Stay up.